Welcome to the Gospel with the Church Fathers. Thank you for watching. Today is the Tuesday of the third week of Advent. Please leave a comment, send us a tweet at Church Rebuild, or visit our website at catholicinitiative.com. Thank you. Today's Gospel is taken from St. Matthew chapter 1, verses 1 through 17, and the commentaries are from St. Rabanus, St. Jerome, St. John Chrysostom, and Pseudo-Chrysostom. The Gospel. The Book of the Genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham became the father of Isaac, Isaac the father of Jacob, Jacob the father of Judah and his brothers. Judah became the father of Perez and Zerah, whose mother was Tamar. Perez became the father of Hezron, Hezron the father of Ram, Ram the father of Amminadab. Amminadab became the father of Nahshon, Nahshon the father of Salmon, Salmon the father of Boaz, whose mother was Rahab. Boaz became the father of Obed, whose mother was Ruth. Obed became the father of Jesse, Jesse the father of David the king. David became the father of Solomon, whose mother had been the wife of Uriah. Solomon became the father of Rehoboam, Rehoboam the father of Abijah, Abijah the father of Asaph. Asaph became the father of Jehoshaphat, Jehoshaphat the father of Joram, Joram the father of Uzziah. Uzziah became the father of Jotham, Jotham the father of Ahaz, Ahaz the father of Hezekiah. Hezekiah became the father of Manasseh, Manasseh the father of Amos, Amos the father of Josiah. Josiah became the father of Jeconiah and his brothers at the time of the Babylonian exile. After the Babylonian exile, Jeconiah became the father of Shealtiel, Shealtiel the father of Zerubbabel, Zerubbabel the father of Abiud. Abiud became the father of Eliakim, Eliakim the father of Azor, Azor the father of Zadok. Zadok became the father of Achim, Achim the father of Eliud, Eliud the father of Eleazar. Eleazar became the father of Mathan, Mathan the father of Jacob, Jacob the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary. Of her was born Jesus, who is called the Christ. Thus, the total number of generations from Abraham to David is 14 generations. From David to the Babylonian exile, 14 generations. From the Babylonian exile to the Christ, 14 generations. The Commentaries. St. Rabanus. By this exordium he shows that it is the birth of Christ according to the flesh that he has undertaken to narrate. Pseudo-Chrysostom. Matthew wrote for the Jews, and in Hebrew. To them it was unnecessary to explain the divinity which they recognized, but necessary to unfold the mystery of the Incarnation. John wrote in Greek for the Gentiles, who knew nothing of a Son of God. They required, therefore, to be told first that the Son of God was God, then that this deity was incarnate. St. Rabanus. Though the genealogy occupies only a small part of the volume, he yet begins thus, the book of the generation. For it is in the manner of the Hebrews to name their books from that which they open, as Genesis. St. Jerome. We read in Isaiah, "Who shall declare his generation?" Isaiah 53:8. But it does not follow that the evangelist contradicts the prophet, or undertakes what he declares impossible. For Isaiah is speaking of the generation of the divine nature, St. Matthew of the incarnation of the human. St. John Chrysostom. And do not consider this genealogy a small thing to hear, for truly it is a marvelous thing that God should descend to be born of a woman, and to have as his ancestors David and Abraham. St. Rabanus. By saying of Jesus Christ, he expresses both the kingly and priestly office to be in him. For Jesus, who first bore this name, was after Moses, the first who was the leader of the children of Israel. and Aaron, anointed by the mystical ointment, was the first priest under the law. St. John Chrysostom. But why would it not have been enough to name one of them, David alone, or Abraham alone? Because the promise had been made to both of Christ to be born of their seed. To Abraham, "And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed," Genesis 22:18. To David, "Of the fruit of thy body I will set upon thy seat," Psalm 132:11. He therefore calls Christ the Son of both, to show that in him was fulfilled the promise to both. Also because Christ was to have three dignities: king, prophet, and priest. But Abraham was prophet and priest. Priest, as God says to him in Genesis, "Take a heifer," Genesis 15:9. Prophet, as the Lord said to Abimelech concerning him, "He is a prophet and shall pray for thee," Genesis 27. David was king and prophet, but not priest. Thus he is expressly called the son of both, that the threefold dignity of his forefathers might be recognized by hereditary right in Christ.